Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and we're going to continue decimal multiplication. In this video, we're going to practice placing the decimal point in our product. So you still need your notes packet. As you'll recall, in the first video, we came up with a rule of where to place the decimal point by looking at models. And we said that the number of decimal places in the product is the sum of the decimal places in the factors. So we're going to start off by practicing that. Alright, we're going to place the decimal point in the correct position. Okay, if you look at this first example, 1 4/10 times 2 56/100. I'm going to ask that you do certain things to show your work. The first thing is the rule says to find the sum of the decimal places in your factors. And the factors are the numbers that we multiply together. So let's do this. We want you to underline the decimal places in each factor. So 1 4/10 has 1 decimal place. 2 56/100 has 2 decimal places. That's a total of 3 decimal places. So we need 3 decimal places in our answer. So you're going to underline each decimal place. Come down here, underline 3 decimal places. Do we want to start on the left? No, because whole numbers are always on the left side. Your decimal place values are on the right. So you're going to start on the right with the last digit. And we're going to underline 3 digits, 1, 2, and 3. Those are the 3 decimal places that we need. So the decimal point goes between the 3 and the 5. So again, we want to see the underlining. You're going to underline each decimal place value in the 2 factors. And then in the answer, you're going to do the same, starting from the right, and underline the sum of those decimal place values. Then you're going to place your decimal point. Now, decimal points. Sometimes we get really fast and you can hardly see the decimal point. So we would like for you to make the decimal point nice and big. Okay, next one, 6/10 times 5/10. So we're going to underline 1 decimal place in the first factor, 1 decimal place in the second factor. That's a total of 2 decimal place values. So we come to our answer, and this is pretty cool because the math's been done for you, right? You don't have to multiply. All you're doing is putting in a decimal point. So we want 2. You're going to start at the right. There's 1, here's 2. The decimal point goes in front of the 3. Okay, the next one. Here we have the hundredths place, so there's 2 decimal place values. This one has 3 because it goes to the thousandths. So find the sum. 2 plus 3 is 5. Our answer is going to need 5 decimal place values. So we start at the 1 and underline. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our decimal point goes between the 9 and the 8. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and work the rest of the examples on your own, then come back and check your answer. Okay, let's see how you did. 3/10 times 2 4/10. There are 2 decimal places. Your decimal point should go in front of the 7. 14 2/10 times 6. There's only 1 decimal place value because the 6 is a whole number. So we need 1 in our answer, and we get 85 2/10. 8.3, 8 3/10 times 2 9/10. There are 2. Whoops. So you need 2 in your answer. Sorry. The decimal point goes between the 4 and the 0. Here we have a thousandths place. That's 3 decimal place values. The 8 is a whole number, so it has 0. So we need 3 decimal place values in our answer. And you get 91 936 thousandths. And our last example. The first factor has 2 decimal place values. The second factor has 3, so we need a total of 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4, but we need to have 5. So in this empty hole right here, we need to annex a 0. Then we can put our decimal point. So be very careful. If there's not enough digits, you still have to put the little lines and add a 0. Okay, so to actually multiply with decimal factors, we can just multiply the factors as if they're whole numbers and then place the decimal point in the answer. So go ahead and fill in your notes, fill in the blanks. To multiply with decimal factors, we multiply as if the factors were whole numbers and then place the decimal point in the answer. So let's practice that. 5 7/10 times 2. We're going to pretend that there is no decimal point here. If there was no decimal point, then the number would be 57. So we're going to multiply 57 times 2. And we get 14. 10 plus 1 is 11. We get 114. Now we're going to go back. We have one decimal place. This one's a whole number, so we only need one decimal place in our answer. Start to the right. There's our one decimal place, which means our decimal point is between the 1 and the 4. Okay, second example. First factor has 2 decimal places. Second factor also has 2. So our answer should have 4. Now let's take out the decimal points and we get the problem of 305 times 76. We can drop this first 0 that's in the ones place because it doesn't have any effect on the multiplication. Now, when you multiply, we're not going to do this. That's not how we multiply. When you multiply, the longer digit goes on top, the one with more numbers, more digits. Not the biggest number, but the number with that's the longest, it has the most digits, which would be the 305. So 305 times 76. Okay, now we're multiplying by a 2-digit number. Some of you have some problems doing this. If you have any problems with multiplying by 2 or 3 digits, this is where you need to take an afternoon and come to tutorials because we can help you. There are other ways or other methods for multiplying to make it a little bit easier, but you're going to have to come to tutorials to get that help. Okay, now we just do our regular multiplication. We multiply by the ones place. 6 times 5 is 30, carry our 3. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3, and 6 times 3 is 18. Now we move to the tens digit. So our answer is going to start in the tens place. So we're going to have to annex a 0 here. Now we multiply. 7 times 5 is 35, carry a 3. 7 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3, and 7 times 3 is 21. Make sure to keep everything nicely lined up. It makes it easier to do your addition. And now we just add. Okay, so there's our product, but we have to go back and put our decimal places. We need 4 of them. So we start to the right. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. The decimal point goes between the 2 and the 3. Okay, last example here. 2/10 has 1 decimal place value. 3/1000 has 3. So we're going to need a total of 4 decimal places in our answer. So when we take out the decimal and the unnecessary zeros, we just get 2 times 3. Well, that's easy enough. 2 times 3 is 6. Now let's do our 4 decimal places. Here's 1. Uh-oh, we're out of numbers, but we still need the place values, don't we? 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to have to put zeros in all of these empty spaces, and then our decimal point. Okay, pretty easy, right? Okay, very quickly before we get to our 2-word problems, I want to talk about rounding. Okay, if it says to round to the nearest hundredths place, think about what that means. Where is the hundredths place in our answer? It's right here, isn't it? This is the tenths, this is the hundredths. So that means we want to write our answer only and stopping at the hundredths place. Okay, but you're going to have to round. You have to look at the digit behind it, which is the 8. If it is 5 or greater, then we round the 1 up to a 2. If it's less than 5, then the 1 stays a 1. So because our number is an 8 and that is greater than 5, we're going to round the 1 into a 2. And I got ahead of myself here. So we would get 2 32/100. This is important, especially when dealing with money, because you're not going to write money as $2.318, do we? No, it's $2.32. So I just sidebar on that. Okay, oh, speaking of money, here we go. All right, Jordan makes $7.65 per hour working at Kroger. On Thursday, she worked 7 and 5 hours. How much money did she earn on Thursday? First thing I want you to do is write your expression. We are multiplying, this is your clue word, per hour. So $7.65 per the number of hours. How many hours is she working? 7 and 5 So expression 7 and 65 times 7 and 5. Now we just do what we've been doing. How many decimal place values are in our factors? Well, there's 2 and 1, so our answer is going to need 3. Take out the decimals, treat them as if they were whole numbers, and we get 765 times 75. So let's do the math. You're going to write the number that's the longest that has the most digits. 765, that goes on top, times 75. Okay, let's do the math. Now I come down to my tens place, so I want to start that answer here, so I'll have to put a 0 in the ones. 7 times 5 is 35, carry the 3, 42 plus 3 is 45, carry the 4, 49 plus 4 is 53. Add them up. See how they're lined up? Makes it really easy to add. 13, carry a 1, so this is a 7. All right, there's our product. Now we can go back in and place our 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. The decimal point goes between the 7 and the 3. The first 7 and 3. So this is, we're talking money, so is this going to be $57.375? No, it's not. We're going to have to round to the nearest hundreds place, which is right here. So look at the digit behind it, it's a 5. That means we need to round up. So it's going to be 57.3 and round the 7 to the next number, 8. So she earned, answer statement, $57.38. And our last example. Oranges are on sale for 79 cents a pound. If Mary buys 2 3/10 pounds of oranges, how much will she pay? Okay, so we're dealing for money again. It's 79 cents a pound. This is multiplication per pound. So our expression is going to be 79 hundredths times, and she bought 2.3 pounds. All right, we have 2 decimal place values in the first factor. We have 1 in the second factor, so that's a total of 3. If I take away the decimal points, I get 79 times 23. And now I can do my math. They're both 2-digit numbers, so it doesn't matter which one goes on top. So I'll do the multiplication, 27, 21 plus 2 is 23. Okay, move over to my tens place, so I want to start the answer here. So annex my 0. 2 times 9 is 18. Carry a 1. It's going to be 15. Okay, let's add 7, 11, 8, and 1. There's our product. Let's go back in, put our 3 decimal place values. 1, 2, 3. The decimal point goes between the 1 and the 8. The first 1 and 8. Again, this is money, so we need to round to the nearest hundreds place, that's right, which is the 1. So looking at the digit behind it, the 7 is going to round the 1 up to a 2. So the answer statement, she will pay $1.82. All right, good job, Bobcats.